right there. I have a story. I don't know if you're interested. I had a speech impairment. I was slower at talking. That put me in a coma for 10 weeks. You know, like everything that little kids have to learn. Like eating right, sitting up straight.
And in the corner of his room was a huge bright light. And even the doctors and the nurses could see it. It was something that you could see.
And it was where there was no light.
Yep, there was no light there. Oh, there was a bright light. And he's my strength. He's there for me.
Have you subscribed or followed yet? Hope so. This next story is about our perceptions. Sometimes people are not the way we perceive them to be. Sometimes things are not what we think. And this is the classic example.
Here we are at a bus stop at Weber State University, right?
Yes.
Tell me your name.
Josh.
Josh, I'm Todd. Nice to meet you.
Todd.
Basically what we need is somebody to tell us where to go.
Where to go?
Have you ever told anybody where to go before?
No.
Okay. Well, actually, and we don't even need you to tell us where to go. We just need you to point somewhere on this map. So what we'll have you do is close your eyes, though, because we want it to be completely random. So close your eyes and just point somewhere. And I've got it right out in front of you.
Right there.
So that looks like it's near Farr Park and Ogden Stadium, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why do you need me to point?
Because we're gonna go there and knock on doors, and the first person who agrees to be on TV, we're gonna put them in our show. I'm sure you've pointed us in the right place, because everybody has a neat story to tell, so.
Well, I have a story. I don't know if you're interested.
If I said I wasn't interested, I think that would defeat the purpose of this entire show.
What's your story about? What's your story about?
Well, I used to... Everybody's getting in.
No, we got cameras, we got microphones. It's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Oh, well.
Josh says he sometimes has a hard time expressing himself.
I had a speech impairment. I was slower at talking.
But it hasn't always been that way. A few years ago, something happened to Josh that would change his life forever.
Well, I got into a car accident about 8 years ago.
Really?
And yes, it was 8 years ago on the 20th that put me in a coma for 10 weeks. You know, like everything that little kids have to learn. Like eating right, sitting up straight, walking, talking. I had to relearn all that. Actually, my mother, when I was in the coma, she wouldn't leave my side for 3 months. She was right there by my side.
You know what? He is so amazing. This child has gone through a lot. He was a typical teenager at the age of 16. He rode a skateboard and he learned how to drive. And he was went down to the bank with his little sister to go get some money. He was at a stop sign and he was going to cross Hillfield Road, make a left-hand turn. And the guy had stopped and waved him on. And the car in the left-hand lane didn't stop, and it was just happened to be a truck and just plowed right into him. I got the phone call. You know, she's in hysterics. So, you know, Josh and I got in this accident. You know, she says, he's bleeding. I says, okay, calm down, you know. And so we went down there. We got down there just in time to see them life flight him. There was nothing left for the driver's side of the car.
Josh sustained critical injuries. Doctors had very little hope.
And he shared his brain like this, And they came out and they says, okay, you guys can all come in and see him, because they didn't expect him to last through the night. And that night, you could go in, and in the corner of his room was a huge bright light. And even the doctors and the nurses could see it. It was something that you could see.
And it was where there was no light.
Yep, there was no light there. Oh, there was a bright light. And I say, I always say that was, the angels and God right there watching over him to make sure he was okay.
Josh beat the odds, but it would be 3 months before they had a breakthrough.
His first words out of his mouth was the day after his birthday when he turned 17. And he looked and he seen his grandma and he says, Grandma, to convince him to swallow in that and talk. We would give him Coke. And we would sit there and my mom and I would say, Josh, you have to say Coke if you want Coke. He remembers that. And he says, you just wanted to reach around and slap us both.
After such a long struggle, Josh has every reason not to go to college, but his mom will have none of that.
So where does the drive come from to go to college and try to...
I started my told me I had to.
Good for her.
After he graduated from high school, he was kind of like, I don't know what to do, I'll just stay home and feel sorry for myself and play video games. Finally, I looked at him, I says, no.
Did you think you wouldn't be able to do it?
Oh no, I just thought it way too much work, won't even try, won't even go there.
We don't do that. I says, what do you want to take? And he says, I don't know. And I says, well, let's start from the beginning. I says, let's register you up at Weber State. And you go up there and you can take one class. See how you do. Gosh, that was, 3-4 years ago? And he loves it. He goes up there and he's like, wow. And he's doing really good. I mean, this guy is taking all his English classes and his math class, and he took economics, passed it with a B.
It'll take him a while to graduate, and Josh isn't sure exactly what he wants to do in the future, but there are some things he loves.
After my car accident, I've been really getting into drafting, architecture.
He's a great artist. That was one thing, and I am so happy for that, is that was not taken away.
If you lay like a blueprint down in front of me, I can pretty much tell you exactly what is what.
I look at it, the future holds whatever he wants to be, he can be.
Josh even wants to write a book to help others who have gone through similar experiences. But Terry says the miracle of Josh's life is already a help to her.
And he's my strength. He's there for me.
You've been there for him all this time, and...
Yeah. So, he's my strength. He helps me through the days.
I'm here and, wanting to better my life and get out there and see what I can do.
Josh, in my opinion, has overachieved based on what he has had to deal with. And he's done that with his tenacity, with his personality. And we actually did an update story years later on Josh that I will share later here. So you'll see how he's continued to progress. Let me know what you think about this story in the comments. Please like it. Please share it. That helps us to grow. And you can subscribe if you're on YouTube. You can like or follow the page if you're on Facebook. And we will continue to give you more great stories.